Friends, it's so wonderful to connect back. Today, I thought I'll briefly share with you some clarity about this whole idea of self-awareness. What is the meaning of this word self-awareness? It's something similar to self-assessment. In fact, I would say that awareness is completely the opposite of assessment. Because assessment is all about evaluation, calculation. Assessment is about measuring. And the moment we say, therefore, measurability and evaluation, then we are saying there are some standards, specifications, and criteria. And what is the element which has got standards, measurement, and criteria? The power of this glass, the software installation, whatever gigabytes in this computer, electricity power required for this connect to take place. What's the interpretation? Anything which is material, that is measurable. Anything which is object, evaluatable, that is accessible. But what is not material, what is not an object, how can that be assessed? And that can only be made aware of, can be sensed. So self-awareness is the deep sensing of oneself, whereas self-assessment is from the indicative, externally exhibited behavioral styles of what happens with a human being, due to a human being in his engagement with the world or interaction with the world. That would be self-assessment. Most of the time, it's not so much self-assessment as assessment of how he behaves in roles. So we come to the diametrically opposite factor of self-awareness. Why? Because the self out here is the common factor in all the roles that one takes. I am a speaker, I'm an OD consultant, I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a citizen, I'm a brother, I'm a friend. But in all these multiple roles that I have in life, there is one core, myself. So what is this core element which is present in all these multiplicities of roles that I take on? To know that central phenomena, that energizing phenomena, that fundamental source of my being, that self, becoming aware of the nature of that self, that is self-awareness. So it's a sensing process, not an evaluative process. It's a recognition process, not an assessment process. It looks easy for me to go into this descriptive flow and show the difference between self-assessment and self-awareness. You may have a right question. How do I make a beginning towards self-awareness? One indication is pretty clear, and that is, can I drop my evaluative mind? What do we mean by dropping my evaluative mind? Can I take away from my mind the need and the compulsion of having to judge anything? For example, even a need in my mind of judging, saying, will I become good in self-awareness, is an evaluative question. Drop it. Can we let go of all the requirements at this point of time about being evaluative about myself? Good or bad, competent, incompetent, capable, incapable, excellent, ordinary, smart, dull, successful, failure. Whatever is at this point of time driving your mind, whatever is the communication of your mind which has got that evaluative tone. If the mind is saying, hey, you duffer, you're not understanding what Raja is saying. How can you be so dull? That is an evaluative mind provoking you. Can you become comfortable with non-evaluation? And you know what is the secret behind getting into a non-evaluative mind? To let go of preferences and choices. Yes, the ability to let go of preferences and choices, because any preference, any choice is a desire, and therefore it's a precondition. For example, if in my mind I say that, whatever I do as a talking, people must receive it very well and it must be very impressive, I'm finished. I can't even make a true start with self-awareness because I'm already putting the criteria of how you will receive, and hopefully that you will receive it in a very positive, in a very appreciative way, as the condition under which I need to perform, which means I'm creating conditions. The moment I create conditions, I'm freezing the borders. Conditioning of the mind. Conditioning means creating certain criteria, which is a given factor, and any given factor is a limitation factor. So when I say let go of choices, I'm really saying, can I let go of any conditioning tendency of the mind? Is it possible to be in that state of mind? Forget questions like, can I be in that state of mind all the time? Let's begin with the here and now. Is it possible to be in that state of mind right now? I'm saying, think about it. What is stopping us from doing that other than expectations? Suppose you say, all right, I'm not going to have expectations. Let me just see what happens? I think that's where we start, going with the flow. Let me see what happens. There is curiosity. There's a possible, joyful readiness to meet whatever that is coming. And it's not that we are not mature, but we are willing to have a childlike curiosity about life. We have the same kind of attitude like the children playing on the beach sand. They build all that, kind of huge sand castles and, kind of pyramids and all that. And before they go, they jump on the same sand and destroy that completely and laugh gleefully. Now created, now destroyed. No attachment, no conditioning saying that I create a castle, the world has got to recognize that, it has got to be there all the time. No. Play. Can we look at life as a play? I think this readiness to deal with at least the next moment as a play and be open enough for that without any conditions of expectations. Even if you can spend 5 to 10 minutes, and even while you are doing anything, for example, if you're listening to me at this point of time, drop everything else other than the keenness to listen. Suppose you are having tea, have the focus, have the whole engagement with the process of drinking tea, using a broom and cleaning up the room. Enjoy completely, be engaged in that cleaning the room with the broom. When that kind of an engagement takes place, you are not witnessing the process and assessing it. You are with the process. You are part of the process. You are the process. Being the process is a present continuous tense. Do small little efforts and exercises to be the process, being in the present. I think there are more beautiful surprises waiting to be discovered. All the very best in your trip